The biggest decision I've ever made
as a managing
director is handling taxes head on. You go to KRA, unasomewa bili yako, unaambiwa vile ilitoka, unaenda into payment plan, unaanza kuilipa.
Kutoka mwaka gani hiyo bill sasa?
Zilikuwa zina span back for some time, but critically zilikuwa zina center around 2022, 2023 coming forward. So kulikuwa gana kibudget kingine kilikuwa kibigi. Hizo ni figures zenye nilikuwa narudi home naambia watu wangu, chaps, iko hii challenge inahitaji tufanye. Unaambia watu wako wana panic. Wanashindwa guy, so maisha yetu itasimama ama itafanya nini? What are you going to do? I had to communicate the same to the team in the office to tell them, listen, there's this kind of obligation and it's really happening and it needs to be taken care of. Of course, it brings rifts because how do you start handling historical issues when you're trying to set up and you've just expanded, vitu kama hizo. So the biggest decision I took is handling taxes head on. And I'm glad I did because that process ilinifanya nikakuwa very tax literate. And I'm still learning. But bado, niko free kusema, hata saa hii, I'm still in the hole.
Saseni, mkofiti? Yep, ni mimi tena. I am back for the founders review. And today I'm so excited because I have someone in a very different industry. Like, see, different at exist. But in a world that most of us, we have stories to tell. Most of us, we feel like, hey, uko, hata usijaribu. So today on set, I have a guest who is in the construction industry. Na najua tungependa kusikia, stories za huko kukoaje, biashara huko ikoaje, ilikuwaje 2025, the lessons, the wins. So before hata tuanze tuingie lessons and the wins, Mr. Kinyua,
yes,
please introduce yourself. Introduce your industry vizuri. Tusiku group na wale wenye wametufanyia vitu mbaya tu. Like introduce what you do, introduce your business. Okay. And then maybe the other thing will be maybe a word to describe your 2025.
Alright, good. My name is Kinyua Maina. Mimi ni fundi wa mjengo. I am a man of mjengo. Nakuaga jina, I go by the name man wa mjengo. And I am a managing director of Kuova East Africa Limited. It is a construction firm. And I am a businessman in the construction industry. So I have been privileged to helm this organization for 15 years. Na tunaendelea.
What?
Yep.
15 years?
15 good years. Yes.
So, woof. Okay. Okay, so... 15 years.
Wako umeishiwa maneno. 15 years. I mean, well, basically, unajua kitu funny, mtu hata akipigi stock ya hii time. You don't even realize. Because unajua tu, I mean, si ni kawaida tu, life curve inaendelea tu, day starts, day ends. At some point in your adulting journey, you find yourself doing something, you just wake up, you jump on something, and then you just start perfecting, slowly by slowly.
So is
Looking
it something...
back, 15, yeah.
Yeah, 15 years, okay. I'm happy that you tagged yourself and then someone else also tagged you. And then, so I was like, okay, construction nezataka kusikia because we know of all these other businesses, but sijapatana na mse wa construction.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
You've said you're a managing director and you're also a businessman.
Yes.
Hapo sijaelewa.
So basically, I'll give you a very good context. I did not go to any technical school. I did not go to study engineering or architecture or anything of that nature. In fact, I did something totally different. And then at some point during that transition, I figured that I was resonating more with e-industry. So I started this particular company. And it's been a long journey of learning, growing, kupitia through challenges ka zote, kurejectiwa, kuacceptiwa. kuharibu kazi,
So let me
kutengeneza.
ask, wacha saa nione.
Yes.
What is your, like, if you're asked 2025, what is your biggest lesson? Na ujaniambia one word to describe 2025, by the way.
2025. Mawe na mahe, hizo ndio tunaweza tumia for this particular sit down. It's been ridiculously difficult. Imekuwa very, very, very difficult for me. Can I jump right into it?
Yeah, feel free.
Fantastic. So hii mwaka ilianza in a very promising tone. Of course, unajua, from last year, stories za Gen Z coming up tulianza kufeel some bit of shifts half year running towards the end 2024. So by the time tulikuwa nafika around 2024 December, kulikuwa na prospects mzuri, tulikuwa tunajua kuko na some good biashara zitakam and all that. And tulikuwa ready. Jan started, and no sooner had January started than vitu tu zikaenda south. Like, it has been literally dormant from the very onset.
When you say dormant, you mean like no work, no customers?
Yes. So basically, work imekuwa on a very reduced scope. The line of work that I'm in, I focus largely on corporate spaces and, small, medium enterprises. So stories are fit outs, commercial properties, nini. Hakuja kuwa tu na job, yani zimekuwa ridiculously reduced. So you get a lot of prospects, start your year, unajua okay fine, at least ukipatiana maybe kama 10-15 BOQs, at least 3 ama 4 utapata. Unapata hakuna, ama ile unapata unasikia mtu anakwambia budgets iko reduced, punguza. So there's been a lot of adjustments, kumekuwa na a lot of losses, watu wa kukupea job hakulipi.
Same BOQ.
Same BOQ. Unajua, unapata, partnerships with people who just get what they need to get from you, and then you don't hear much from them. It's been quite the roller coaster.
So that was in like Jan immediately. Now we are in December.
So it got deck.
Ni nini unaweza sema what triggered ama what led? Unaweza sema baina, unaweza sema ni juu ya hii ni mimi nilikuwa nafanya hivi ama ni economy ama ni nini?
Yes. Mi nitakupatia my raw truth. Number one, zile vitu zimekuwa zikini set down this year ni number one, reduced flow ya kazi, but number 2, taxes. Kenya Revenue Authority.
Kwanza chuma niliona bei ya chuma ilipanda.
Bei ya chuma ilipanda.
Aki the last time hata simiti.
Kila kitu. Everything. But ukikaa ukiangalia, generally most of the clients that you're working with, they don't want to really accommodate for those changes. So unapata, if the prices of commodities have gone high, most of the clients that you get want to pay within a certain value. Hataki kuconsider changes.
But si umepandisha bei?
Si mimi, but sasa issue ni hii, you do it according to the pricing. So let me give you a very good concept. We are in a situation where jobs si mingi sana vile unafikiria, right? So as a business owner, kuna kuwaga na point ya desperation, because unakaa unaona hakuna flow ya pesa, maybe
and
jobs as they come, and you need the money because you have things to do. You have loans
Bills
to
to
pay,
pay.
you have bills to pay, you have people to pay,
Feed.
you have the government to pay, you have to feed all these things.
And then you have black
You
tax
have
if
black
there's
tax.
any.
Guy, mi hata usianze story ya black tax, but nashukuru, mi napenda wazazi wangu.
Good.
So basically, if you consider all these things, they all come from a certain pot. And if at all you can't really quantify hizo biashara, like as it come na ile values in a come, at least to accommodate those adjustments and stuff, the easiest, I mean, you can only engage what you can pay for.
Yeah.
So siezi pia laumu clients.
Yeah.
Kama ulikuwa na budget ya 3 bob, na mi nakupatia service ya 3.5 na hauna hiyo 3.5,
Siezi.
utakata. So ni mi nifikirie, how will I be able to adjust, at least to be able to border what you're giving and at least realize something.
Okay.
Unaona?
Okay.
So unapata akuja kuwa na hiyo liberty. The ones who are paying are very few. The ones who want stuff done are very many. But the
So-
opportunities are not flowing as freely.
The ones who want to pay are very few. That means even me in my business, there are things I'm going to cut.
Correct.
Oh, because if at all, there are the people that want things to be done hawalipi wenye wanataka zilipwe si wengi.
Yeah.
So you'll have to take some measures, including cutting something.
Yes.
So what did you do?
So basically, there's a lot of change that happened. For us, we had to pretty much cut down to almost zero. Well, this is, Pole, I'm reflecting. It's also quite heavy. So I'll give you a bit of context. At a certain point in 2023, things were really working out. They were really, really good. And I was on a very, very, very good business streak. And I was able to take care of a lot. And so as any businessman, there was need to expand. And so I took into expansion. The expansion was so grand, but of course, the thing about being an entrepreneur is you're the bearer of your vision. Na hii vision yako unaionanga in such clarity, unaionanga to how everything should work. Until now you start getting down to the details of running. So that's when now you realize, okay, kuna kuwaga na shifts fulani. Had you asked me whether in 2023 I would have anticipated that 2024 end and 2025 would be as difficult as it is, I would have probably reserved doing some things then. But I don't regret, because the aim was also to fail forward. Learn lesson yako, grow, enda, neza pata katishu na feel.
Yes,
so basically, what usually happened, or what happened in that context, is there was a lot of expansion that happened. And the market was right. We were happy. Things worked.
So expansion, by expansion, you mean?
I got new spaces. I accommodated new people.
offices.
I hired.
Okay.
We did a lot to try and get as much brand recognition, go out, get as many businesses as possible. And, just generally, every entrepreneur's excitement is to know that you're moving to a certain level higher than what you've been operating under. And it's unfortunate, some of the relationships didn't really materialize. So there was a failure in the relationships, because also the business environment was not very good. From me, from them, it generally cuts across all ends. Number two, again, revenue authority, taxes. Taxes is one thing I would petition every entrepreneur to be tax literate. Tax literacy is something very, very important, because if you're not tax literate, then kuna kitu inakugoja kwa hali na itakukula na ikikama ikuji pole pole. So unapata in between the processes of growth, juggling up between trying to figure out whether your vision is holding, sorting out your taxes, paying the people who are working, and making meaning of the businesses that you're doing, kuna clash. At that time, pia ujue uko na maisha yako. Lazima usurvive. You must be able to feed your people. I have a family. I have two very beautiful boys and a wife. And I have to make sure that life balances for them. But it's difficult, So anyway, went through it. We started experiencing those effects za your dip kuanzia mid 2024 coming down. The model of business that I've been running, again, like I told you, it focuses a lot on the corporate commercial spaces. Kama unakumbuka ile time ya Gen Z kulikuwaga na story ya kukosa kuingia makampu, kufanya jobs nini, taxes at an all-time high, so budgets ina change, and then companies are going through restructures. So when restructures are happening, kuna budgets lazima zitaumia. The ones I was working for, they happened to outsource most of the departments that were giving us direct works. So the period of transition, gatekeepers, that is also something that needs to be considered, because when you're moving into a new platform and you enjoyed a relationship, but the structures change, you find gatekeepers and it becomes another barrier.
Yeah.
All this while you're supposed to be moving, you know. So we just started realizing some bit of those frustrations zinaenda zikishuka. But culmination yake ilikuwa ni kutoka July last year, because that's when like we literally sat down. I looked at the entire team I had.
You had a team of how many?
I had
we have the tissues.
Thank you. Thanks. So we had tulikuwa kubwa, tulikuwa 5 of us in the office, 1 2 3 4 5, and a multitude of other guys out there who are doing like the guys who are running now site works, and we're privileged to do some really good works. We delivered in so many ends. We literally performed, and man, it was a fun time. But now hapo hivyo 2024 hapo because kulikuwa kushaanza kukuwa na some bit of issues. We're having a bit of internal issues as well with the teams, because also, you know, in any business the biggest thing to consider is flow of money. Inakufikia, umelipwa, pesa yako imefika, are you getting money, are you able to sustain? Unajua mtu akikuja job, the ones who are driving need fuel, the ones who are commuting need fare, the ones who are living in their own quarters need to pay rent, people need to eat. Sasa hii time yote hizi vitu zote zilikuwa zinazunguka hapa. So eventually kukakuwa tu na fallouts.
Nikuulize, I think kuna part siku get poa. When companies started having like you can work from home, iliwa affect sana.
Interesting enough, during COVID nilikuwa job, nilikuwa busy. One thing about the construction industry, it's very diverse, it's dynamic, all right? You can always shift in between residences or commercial spaces. It just depends on how you peg yourself. During COVID time ya hybrid, kufanya job hybrid, watu walikuwa na work from home, vitu kama hizo. There's some companies that would give people budgets to set up offices at home. Number 2, kulikuwa na COVID enforcement protocols for those ones who wanted to maintain the business. Number 3, kulikuwa na certain wing of the population that really thrived at that time, especially if you're working for now the digital space, because now, of course, now you have more audience extraction, there's all that. Developers, because now for the companies that would sustain their employees with the salaries that they did, there was a lot more to save. So a lot more went into development and stuff like that. So we did quite a bit of work.
Okay.
Mimi kwangu haikuwa
swali yangu
difficult.
Ni hapa kwenye umesema companies started to shift like where you've mentioned watu wanahama, inabidi wakatafuta watu wengine huko.
Correct. So generally gatekeepers in our industry, you know, we all represent certain industries, and in all industries there are people who are the controllers. Hao ndo wagana create access ya nani ataingia, nani atafanya biashara, nani atapewa.
Hata wakisema tender iko open to anyone,
hata wakifungua formalities wanajuanga hizi vitu kwa premeditated. So wewe umekuja umepushiwa pahali, una anticipate kufuata ile procedure yenye umeambiwa, so that you can have a good transition into a new platform, uanze kazi and all that. But unapata tu kuna mtu fulani tu pahali alikuwa alishajipa. So unapitishwa processes za kufanya mavitu mob. Kama sisi in construction, compliance is a very critical undertaking. If you tell me to go get certain licenses, and we know the licensing regime in this country is quite the investment. So una imagine you remove a bank of money, unaeka into processes, because you just want to carry what is required of you to enter into spaces, and then unapata kuna tu pahali mtu ameka tu kiblock. Unajikuta tu crickets, money spent, no traction. Unakaa tu na realize, okay, what to do. You go back to the drawing board. All this while, you have consistent
people
who need to be sorted out, you know. And let me tell you, it was difficult.
So what did you do hapo July when all these things were running around you? I'm assuming you're only one person.
Yes.
Na naelewa, like, okay, sielewi. Wacha nisidanganye.
Okay.
But I'd love to know like some of the huge things, decisions that you had to do as Kinyua.
Okay. Number 1, the biggest decision I've ever made
as a managing director
is handling taxes head on. You go to KRA, unasomewa bili yako, unaambiwa vile ilitoka, unaenda into payment plan, unaanza kuilipa.
Kutoka mwaka gani hiyo bill sasa?
Zilikuwa zina span back for some time, but critically zilikuwa zina center around 2022, 2023 coming forward. So kulikuwa gana kibudget kingine kilikuwa kibigi. Hizo ni figures zenye nilikuwa narudi home naambia watu wangu, chaps, iko hii challenge inahitaji tufanye. Unaambia watu wako wana panic. Wanashindwa, guy, so maisha yetu itasimama ama itafanya nini? What are you going to do? I had to communicate the same to the team in the office to tell them, listen, there's this kind of obligation and it's really happening and it needs to be taken care of. Of course, it brings rifts because how do you start handling historical issues when you're trying to set up and you've just expanded? Vitu kama hizo. So the biggest decision I took is handling taxes head on. And I'm glad I did because that process ilinifanya nikakuwa very tax literate. And I'm still learning. But bado, niko free kusema, hata saa hii, I'm still in the hole. Hata saa hii.
Would you okay. Napenda. Would you call it a lesson?
Yes. This is a beautiful lesson. Number one, unajua tumezoea kurun biashara kienyeji sana. Structures are very important. Most of the businesses zenye zina come about, zinakuwaga ni the small businesses. You set up from the comfort of your home, you run a niche business, unajua uko na watu fulani utapigia, ni aje niko na hii kama nunua. Inakuanga very simplified, alafu hukuangi umefika point ya kujielevate kuanza kufikiria what the taxes around this business ama structures ita happen. If you have any dream to expand, you cannot unmarry yourself from that obligation. And you have to be very legit about it. So for me, I'm really grateful. Interesting enough, let me shock you, KRA iko na watu wafiti sana. And they take you in and they guide you through. Hajanituma by the way. Ni kwa sababu I get you. Yeah. So it's generally centered around that particular process. Nilikuwa shocked. Tunajua mara moja watu kaga chini wakifikiria, wakikuja we hepa ama funga ama close, kitu fulani.
We don't attach KRA to a human being.
Correct.
We don't sit and think uko kuna binadamu tu kama mimi atanisikiza.
Correct.
So sisi tunaonanga KRA is this big lion. Inakuanga mnyama.
Ni mnyama. Inakuanga kwa sura yako hapo. Kwanza ukiingia Times Square inakuanga kipicha kikubwa.
Exactly. So until you walk in you find kume KRA kuna Kinyua atanisikiza tu understand mashida zangu.
Exactly.
But now that you've said tunaanzanga tu vizuri biashara zetu startups tukiwa kwa sitting room without structure. From the lesson that you've learned Kinyua, kuna msetu sasa anaanza kwa sitting room without structure.
Yes.
Na ungependa kumuona kabla patane na usimba. What is that one caution ya KRA? Like nazataka kujua what is that one thing you will tell yourself pale nikianza ningefanya hii na hii nisikuje kukachap na mimi 2025 kutuza 2022.
First of all, let's start from here. Operate as a registered entity.
Limited.
It can be a sole proprietorship, it can be a partnership, however you're going to structure yourself. It's an entity.
Okay.
All right? Ukishaweka biashara yako into an entity, then by essence utakuwa directly
an employee.
First of all utakuwa umejifungua, utakuwa an employee. You can be able to start putting up the necessary structures za kuanza kurun biashara yako. Then
so detach yourself from the business. Were you the same with the business you?
No. Fortunately, it's a limited company.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So detach yourself from the business.
Yes. So then when you do so, understand the tax framework within your area of trade. That is a very important thing. Unajua watu waga wanafikiria kwenda kuhire tax consultant ni pesa mingi. Unajua hiyo ndio inakuwa ile understanding si kuanga nayo. It's a very costly undertaking. Mi biashara yangu inanilipa 2,500. Mbona sasa nitaanza kulipa mtu wa tax pesa ngapi? Sijui nitaanza kulipa accountant pesa ngapi nini? You'd be shocked. At a certain point in your starting journey, kuna watu tu wanaweza kupatia the direct pointers. Hata pia siku hizi, the internet is there. You can be able to read, research, understand. Because kila biashara huanzia hapa. If you're aggressive enough, you'll start rising. And if you start rising, when you get to certain points, you start realizing that kuna responsibilities inakuja nayo jani yako ukipanda. When you get to that point, utaanza kurealize kuna obligations inaanza kukua thrown your way. Siku moja tu serikali itakutokea ikwambie leta hizi na hizi na hizi na hizi na tunakutaka hapa saa fulani na fulani. One to you.
Is that what happened?
Yes. The historical issues that I had stemmed from that because kulikuwa na some things that I was not literate that I needed to do. Si nilikuwa nafikiria tu VAT, income tax, uko fiti. At best, kama nitadeal na anything, ni story ya debt and enforcement, deal uende nayo. Until unaanza kurealize kuna several departments. Na hizi zote zitakukujia because you have to give answers. As long as you're actively trading, lazima utahave kupatiana majibu. Hizo majibu hazikujangi rahisi. So anyway, yes, that one took center stage. I think the biggest part of my fight this year has been trying to handle that tax issue. And I'm grateful I did because I'm also very well informed on what I need to do to secure the business and position myself to the other levels. The other thing, gatekeepers. Hiyo tu nimekwambia.
Na wako sana kwa industry yenu.
Gatekeepers kwa construction industry wanakuaga wengi. You know, you find yourself going to any tendering stages ama kama kuna any pre-qualifications, processes ziko. Na utafuata processes. But if you follow, mostly it's who you know.
Yeah.
Who you know and what they can do.
Actually, it's a society thing.
It's
not
a societal
even
thing. It's atujakuwa liberated enough kuanza kudepend on our systems and also, you know, letting people express themselves in a way that wateza kukua fit for certain undertakings za biashara. We always have somebody somewhere who we want to push a certain way. So unapata, we are so many of us. Kuna practitioner. Na kuna fundi mdeadly hata maybe hujai mkuta.
That's true.
But ule anajulikana mdeadly, ameweza kucontrol siasa design fulani.
Amekuwa hadi architect.
Amekuwa hizo vitu zote, you know. Ataenda atachoma huko, but atarudi, bado atapata njia ataingia huku. Wewe na huko tu enthusiastic, unataka tu kufanya kitu fiti. Opportunity ikupati. Unaona? So, that again also taught me the importance of having a team that actually does the work of searching, hunting, you know, hizo vitu zote for you. It's very necessary. You know, ukizoea kura na certain niche business, kuna time ingine unakuwaga comfortable. Wacha nipatiane two scenarios hapa. There are two ways businesses work. There's what you call massy business. Massy business ni umepata chance ya kukaa na mse, amekusikiza, hajakudai kitu, but anataka kukupatia opportunity. Anakupatia through pass, unaingia, usome, ufanye hizo vitu zote, ufanye biashara, whatever it is that you're gonna do, you just do it with no reservations, yeah? And you grow into a particular role, yes? Massive businesses can make you so comfortable because imagine if I come and pick you from maybe ulikuwa at a certain point, a transition point in your life, right? And umechukuliwa umekwa pali fulani. And all of a sudden, ishamba imefunguka. Unaanza kupata gigs, unaanza kujilea and stuff like that. And it becomes very consistent. More often than not, yes, utarely on the referrals zile come now, but zinakuwa ganinish. Wakati ile relationship itachakuwa profitable, maisha yako imeisha nayo.
Juu uko unajituma.
Ulitosheka. Ulikaa ukatulia. Unfortunately, hiyo ndo kwa story. Hata kwa construction industry, that is something that happens. In the construction industry, you rarely get, ni venye hata sahi tu kwa digital space, no umeanza kuona sahi so many companies, either cluster of architects somewhere showcasing their work, kuna contractor deadly sana ana showcase kazi zake, my interior designer, but before that it was heavily packed on the referral industry. Na ukiangalia hii country kama sahi, it's very interesting. On one part there's a very big construction booming cycle. but hizi opportunities hazifiki pahali. Kuna tu conflicting.
Nani alikufanyia nipatie? Nani alikutengenezea hii
nipatie?
Hivyo.
So mimi mwenye nataka kukaa chini niende kutuma profile yangu, niende kuingia portals, kutuma sijui nini, nijaribu kuongea. You don't get this through passes. What you get is you get referred to the structures, the channels, the platforms
that did the
but
job.
ukishafanya hizo vitu zote you go quiet. It's just like in a way ni kama tu venye pia ukitafuta job. Mtu ametoka kampo, amekuwa na internship pali fulani, amepata experience fulani, sana feel yuko ready for certain undertaking. Na anaangalia certain organizations, anatuma massive ka 15 but hakuna gajibu zo kuja. Mtu anaanza kufeel, mazee mi kwa nini failure? What am I not doing right? And then this subject of always you should know people, you should know someone. It comes and it really takes you out. The other option, the first is mercy. The other option, of course, is just having a good business development team. Yeah. Now, having a BD team is something that you need to really invest in. These are people who are just specialized in going to knock door to door. They're the ones to handle that rejection from you. You won't know how many were rejected. You will not know. Where at least kile utadu ni kuuliza ni wapi kuna prospects. So it's their work to go do it. But most small companies don't really invest much in it because depending on what the budget looks like, you can only get so much for what you pay for.
Can you say that's the second lesson for 2025?
That is a very critical lesson this 2025. I'll be very honest with you. I survived on the mercy end. I survived on the mercy end. And I've survived on the mercy end for years and years and years.
For the 15 years?
Si miaka 3.
Wow.
15 good years. So, at some point you get very comfortable.
Yeah.
When we expanded, one of the things that was supposed to be done was taking into now that spread out function. Work on your marketing, work on your business development, do all those things, get people to do their work, right? But in between, these are the things that I'm settling, which is now the taxes on this end, the reduced inflow for works. Some people who called you very quickly and who do with a PO, you went, you took loans, you did a lot of things, you pumped into work, alafu na nyamaziwa. Oh, by the way, I mean, there's no shame in saying, I have survived 12 auctioneer cycles this year. 12. 1, 2.
12.
That's almost like one every month. This year. Let me give you a very interesting story, auctioneer. This one, it's ni diversion. If I may.
Yeah.
There's one time tulikuwa tumekaa home on a Saturday. My kids and I were playing soccer hapo kwa backyard. Tunajibamba tu. Nikapigiwa simu kutoka kwa gate, nikaambiwa, Mr. Kinyua, habari yako mzuri, kuna so and so amekuja kukuona. Mimi nilifikiria ni wageni wa mama. Nikamwambia sawa, no worries, nikujeni. Kukuja, nikauliza mama, kuna watu fulani wamesema na come. Mama akaniambia mimi sijaambia watu wakuje. Nikashindwa, what do you mean? Hauko na wageni fulani? Before you could even realize, vishindo kwa nyumba. Yep.
Wameingia?
Walikam, yes, they came to my house.
Oh, they were just calling when they're outside there?
Yeah, they were at the estate gate, so they came to my house. They were directed on how to get to my house.
Okay.
Anyway, wamefika. Technically, mi sikuagi mtu wa kupanic. Because, I mean, big deal, it's an obligation, it's overdue, due process has to be followed, so big deal, what do you do? So nikaona wamekuja hapo hivyo, wakakuja na vishindo. Me generally, I'm not the type to come when you're here. Na mi sikuagi mtu wa kukasirika. Kuambia, calm down. At the end of the day, you're also representing an organization. I think there's a way you can communicate in a way that I can hear. You don't need to shout or cause drama. Acha tusikie. That time, my son came and stood right next to me. Mimi nimekaa hapo hivyo, nikaangalia watu washaniambia, unajua hata sasa hujalipa hii na we need you to pay this amount by today, failure to which tunabeba hizi gari zako ziende. Ni Saturdays tuko home. So many nikamwambia, hey, listen, I'm not in a capacity to do it right now. But if you can allow me to at least push this thing to man, because it's on a Saturday.
It's on a Saturday.
I will make a few calls over the weekend and at least try to make some efforts to at least sort 1 or 2, 3 things. This time, my son came there. Mosh alikuwa a little bit skeptical. Alikuwa anataka kutoa mtoi wangu. Nikaambia by the way, wacha akae hapa ndo ajue vile vitu zinaendaga. Raise your children to know the reality of the world. Si trauma, unawafundisha. Let them know that there are this kind of issues. So tumekaa hapo. Kasikia hapo nimesomewa rayo tatu. My son is 9 years old.
So he can understand.
He can understand very well. He's a very smart, brilliant young man. So akasikiza. Akakaa akaniangalia akanishow, daddy, who are these? Nikamshow, well, these are auctioneers. These are people who are contracted to come and get money when you owe money. So do you owe money? Nikamshow, yes, I owe a lot of money. I'm in debt. Akaniambia, oh, is that the reason why you had a bit of problem paying our school fees last month? Nikashow, yes. It was a little bit of a situation, but here we are. See, at least you went to school and you're back, yes. Okay. So what do these auctioneers want? Nikamwambia wanataka kuchukua gari. At that time, of course, sasa auctioneer anashindwa mbona anapatia mtu hii attention. Wako namsikiza. Nikamshow tu, relax. I think just by looking at you, you're a parent. You understand the criticality of engaging these youngins. Unless you're pressed for time, this is a very small explanation. Let them just see what's going on. So tumeka hapo hivyo, mtu akaniambia, oh, that's a problem here. How much do they owe you? Mimi hata siwafichagi, nikamwambia, this is how much I owe. I owe them. Akanishow, oh, okay. Do you know what he did? He went upstairs to his piggy bank. Oh, no. He took 1,000 shillings. Oh, akakuja akaambia auctioneer, if you can take this for my daddy, he will pay the rest when he gets money. He's a hardworking man. Do you know that action? Kulikuwa na mother hapo.
Mama yako kama wife.
Pole, it's
mama yako kama auctioneer mwingine.
Auctioneer, one of the auctioneer alikuwa, mama alikuwa wawili. Okay. Alienda akaangalia mtoi, akaniangalia akanishow, jaribu lipe by Monday. Sita escalate kitu. Jaribu lipe by Monday.
Your son.
Mtoi wangu alinisave kutoka auctioneer.
Mwingine angeambia, kimbia bedroom niongee na
ndio sana.
Ati.
And it's not the first time he attempted to do it. No.
Your son?
Yes.
Like every time they came, he
Randy,
did.
my baby, my boy, yes.
Every time akikuja alikuwa na like not like different.
Yes, different cycles. In fact, alikuwa so aware of it, alikuwa niambia Monday. Aliniambia, Dad, did you manage to pay your debt?
Like now he's following
so
up.
So he becomes an accountability partner.
Yeah.
You think like, unajua me already na struggle na the fact that already things are not working out for me out there. At this point, I feel like the people I have around me needed me to show up in my capacity as MD to move things. But rarely would you get anybody who asks you those very authentic questions. You know,
like what your son
like
was
what
doing.
My son was asking. Or even at least manage to do some basic things like those ones. They don't mean a lot, but they buy you time. And sometimes in business, when you're in the heat of things, all you just need is time. A little bit of time. Let me tell you, the sleepless nights that have been through this year. Stress. Sele ushaikaa chini. Okay, mimi sijui. Wacha mimi niseme. Unaangalia simu yako, una scroll A to Z. You have 3,000 contacts, but you can only call a maximum of 6. 5 of them your family members. In the same process, thank God for social media. Can you imagine going through that particular ordeal? And then, in between the processes, kuna watu wali come through wakanipatia 1 or 2 small opportunities. But those opportunities, what they were offering and what I had to control as noise hazikuwa zinafuatana. Kumbuka, one thing and please let me advise you contractors, ukilipwa pesa si yako ya mfuko. Hiyo pesa ni ya job. Finish your work, take what's yours, pay your taxes, reply what you can get. These opportunities are not many, but the noises were a lot. I'm always fighting battles. So you can imagine the few people who took a bank on me and I couldn't really replicate, or I couldn't really get back to them and satisfactorily deliver on one or two services, culminating to a discredited reputation.
Reason being nimechukua nikaenda kunyamazisha.
Nimechukua hii chapa, najaribu kupushi kitu, but in between kupush hii na auctioneer na huyu unakosa kumaliza, ama una take a longer time than what you're required to do. Time is very sensitive in construction industry. If you call me to your house and you tell me you need your bathroom renovated and I tell you I'll do it in 3 weeks, I'd rather do it in 2.5 weeks. Not to get a standing ovation, but at least to deliver.
Time.
Ukienda ukifanya kitu ipitishe and then you just have to give reasons after reasons why there are delays, it becomes a discreditation. Let's face it.
So do you feel like those who discredited you knew exactly what you are going through?
No. Unfortunately, and let me tell you, I don't fault them. I don't fault them. They took a bank on me already. Had they known that there was such a big issue behind,
They wouldn't.
Maybe they would have been a bit softer.
Ama maybe waseme, hey.
Maybe waseme, umse kidogo anapitia vitu fulani, inaweza choma, unajua? So there are two things here. Number one, you're desperate.
You need the job.
You need the job. Mtoto wangu anarudi shule. Sasa na hii program ya shule sasa tunadeal nayo. Reprieve inakuaga tu December. Kutoka Jani back to back mpaka October wafunge. Wakifunga at March at maximum ni 1 month, wiki mbili. So kuna bills. Hazisimami. Sawa. You have to play to this gallery. I have banks coming for me. I have lenders coming for me. I have individual people who bail you out. I have people I'm petitioning to actually just pay. Do the honorable thing. I did this thing for you wholeheartedly. Just
so,
pay.
Kuna mwenye ako na pesa yako hakulipi.
Kwanza.
I'm so sorry, Kinyua.
So literally it sets you back. Kuna mtu nilifanyia kazi December last year, hakuwa nilipa mpaka July this year. By the time unalipwa, surely speaking,
Mashimo
the
ni
kind
mingi.
of things that you've accumulated in between, what are you able to address?
By the way, why do people fail to pay? Like, I remember this case ya Kioko. Nimefanya kazi. Like, nimefanya kazi. Even if it's how many millions, by the time you're paying me, the time you've wasted on this person.
Me, I'll tell you the truth. I cried with that man.
If clearly nimekuzia hii simu, all you have to do is pay. Ama tell me, nipatie hii mwezi, nitalipa. Lakini hii mwezi, hiyo mwezi ingine, hiyo mwezi, like you're saying, from December. Anakuja kulipa July. Hata wale wasiolikopa ukiwaambia kuna pesa zangu zinakaa, shuali. Umekopa, ukakopa. Hata hizi pesa zikikam, ni sawa zikam, but zinaenda tu kwa mashimo. Hivi.
Mi acha nikwambie, nimeishi na grace ya Mungu. Hiyo tu ndo naweza sema.
Ni God.
Nimeishi na grace ya Mungu. To the few friends who've actually held my hand, and to the family that I have that has also shown up for me, thank you. Thank you. 2025 has not been easy. But what I like about it is, if there's a year that has taught me resilience, ni mwaka. Sasa hata ukikuwa na shida kiasi gani, hata zikuchape kiasi gani, siku hazisimami. The sun will still rise and set. The first fundamental thing that has kept me sane this year is to understand that even a cycle of problems, they have clock in and clock out hours.
Thank you.
Itaanza 8 a.m.
Na itaisha.
Utapiga nduru, itaisha 5 p.m.
Ulale
uamke. Go back, listen to yourself, reset, and think out of the box. Ukibahatika sana, Sunday you'll have a very peaceful day.
Wakianza tena simu Monday.
Wakianza Monday, prepare yourself. I've had to deal with that severally. Demand letters from lawyers, legal suits, many things.
Oh my God.
But they still run around the same cycles. And it still teaches you that you cannot sit pretty and wait for handouts. Do not. Such a cycle will always have you getting to a point where you'll become a beggar. You'll have to sit down and tell somebody, okay, maze niko pabaya. Nisaidie tafadhali. I need this kind of thing. Can you give it to me? People will get tired. Of course, everybody's carrying their own weight. Nobody ever compounds. Hakuna mtu atakata. Sita kupigia nikwambia, Selema ze, nataka unipatie tu so.
Ati tu niko na pesa ya
Mia tu
kusaidiana.
uko na pesa ya kusaidiana. Zi uko na vitu zako za kudu. But you're in a situation that will have to put you in that particular space. And you have to do what it takes. Not just for you, but for the people who stand behind you. One of the things I was telling my friend today, I don't want to call it a curse, but one of the drawbacks of being in leadership is while the world celebrates how good you look, nobody ever sees the pain and the suffering that you carry just to sustain that facade. So when you are pushed to a point where you have to be vulnerable, the same people who praise you will be the first ones who will shoot you down.
Yeah.
So you always find yourself stuck in a space where you're trying to catch yourself. Kwanza wewe, get yourself, jishike, like understand what you're going through. Try to see who can at least not be judgmental when you're requesting for 1 or 2, 3 things. So that you can just have continuity. And in the process, you have to make moves that will take you out of the gutter into a good space.
Kuna mahali ulisema, ama, let me ask, and if you're okay, just...
Yeah, feel free.
So what happened to the team of the 5, the team and the others who needed their money? And I understand that you've also acknowledged that in as much as we are sharing this story, we are not yet out, like, ati
No.
si ati
Smack in the middle.
nilitoka.
Hata usisituke
And you're
nikikuja
such a
auctioneer
strong
hapa.
person, by the way.
Yep.
By the way, you're such a strong person to share your journey
you,
when you're
nashukuru.
still
In the
it.
gutter.
It's not like ati ni lesson na cha 25. Si ati kesho nikiamka sasa shwa.
Yeah.
These are things that take time
Yes.
to clear, you know?
Sure.
Basa naweza taka kujua what happened to the team.
So this team comprised of people who have given me the opportunity to be the person that I am today. I have to give them utmost credits for the turn of events of my life. And as fate would have had it, at some point they transitioned into the business space. So in the process of setting up, there's a lot of support that came from them into
The business.
the business that needed to build and expand to become what we intended it to be. And the business model is very, very, very good and simple, and they have been in the industry, so we all understood what we needed to do. And in the same light, 2 of them were very critical to my journey of becoming, and the people to date I still have a lot of respect, and I love them as my brothers. 2 others were hired. So in the process of expansion, things were looking good. Now imagine, Sele, nimekuwa elevated to MD status. Hizi times zote mi nimekuwaga fundi, the guy on ground. I'm very good. In fact, I'm very good at what I do.
Yeah.
Very good at what I do. And if I may remind you, kuna time wewe umenipatia wheelbarrow, nikaenda kufanya job pahali. And it really helped me, and it was really good. Now I have gotten to a level where now I'm moving from the technical aspect of it to the business face side of it. So that undertaking came with a lot of expansion, knowledge, growth, undertaking through different organizations, and tulikuwa ni kama vitu zinaenda fiti. But still within the same time, there were still some other issues that were settling. I may also say this, right about the same time I was expanding, my dad fell very ill. And healthcare in this country is not 2 shillings. So me and my siblings and my mom had to do a lot to sort out that, which had to also come from somewhere.
Yeah.
There was a tax issue that started then that needed to be addressed as well. There is the wage bill, which comes with the expansion that
In
needs to
short,
be addressed.
tunasema when it starts to pour.
When it rains, it
It's-
pours.
it pours.
And it hammers hailstones proper.
Yani.
Inapiga kuwa. Unajua?
Oh, God.
So within that particular window, you have people who are also dependent on the system to at least try and see whether they could make a living for themselves. And there was a bit of a missing aspect to it. The challenges of money being allocated to certain channels that were not the actual purposes of business. Because if you're running all these other things, KRA does not pay you back. It takes the obligation. Healthcare does not care what you look like. You'll have to foot. Your regular life cycle and sustaining your life.
We'll just move on.
But at this particular point, pia kumbuka, you're expanding, so you have hope. Na uko na courage ya take into new markets. You have a team. What could go wrong? Just give it time. You'll grow. You'll become something. Unfortunately, that's not how everybody sees everything. There are people who tend to be a little bit more calculative. And if they see that the commitment is going to channels that are not really supporting the purpose of commitment, then people start to look other ways. We went about it. It was pretty decent, 2023. 2024 started, it was good. We toured the country. Tulizurura inchi.
Nakumbuka, I think I saw you.
Exactly. I used to go to different places.
Hizo zilikuwa
Sometimes to
job.
go Uganda. Zilikuwa job. Imagine. Hiyo ilikuwa job. Those were paid gigs. So you can imagine the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Natoka hapa leo, nimefanya tour of the north, a little bit into Uganda and back. I've barely even rested. I'm on a flight going to Mombasa. We handle business. Barely rested. Back to the rift sections. Like, it was very, very exciting. And at that time, pia, we also expanded our life. So nilikuwa nimefeel tumefika pali penye watu wangu nimeweka hapa for too long, acha niwatoe, let me take you somewhere else. Like, it's a joy of every man to just make sure that everybody around him benefits. But now when things started tanking, in between making meaning that the situation is not really working, grasping on hope and your very strong mind and liberty ya kubuild na kuunderstand venye situation iko na pali mnaenda, hapa katikati kuna kuwaga na a lot of volatility. Remember, hizi vitu zingine haziishi. So the guys I was with saw the situation, and I don't blame them for not seeing a future. So they set up and they branched out. They went their own way. And it's good. It's a beautiful thing. For me, the point is you win and you become. So now it's down to me. One other person, of course, left because payments were a little bit of a situation. Went south. The technical also really took a different turn because fundi utamweka pali bila pesa. Nimekuweka pali, umechomwa na jua juu ya roof, nimekwambia ni kazi, pesa ikuji. Fundi atakwambia, get out of here. Tembe. And we slowly just started losing and deviating. Please remember also, I was in the massive business angle. That relationship is sour. We call it fattening the bull before the slaughter.
So kuna wenye.
So businesses are down. You have a lot of noise around you. Your team has left. You are recovering from personal issues.
Your father is sick.
Exactly. Hizo vitu zote zinakuja zinapiga na zinaingia.
What was pole?
It's okay.
What were you doing to cope mentally?
Number one.
Because sasa na imagine vitu zote za mtu mmoja si uta shut down.
One thing that I'm never scared of saying is I'm a very emotional man. So I cry.
Na hizo mandevu tu.
It's all the dudes zinatoka huko. But uko kwa rimi yangu.
It is okay.
Number 2, God wamenipatia akili moja unique sana. Any person who knows me and knows my story knows one thing. I'll be down now. Tomorrow I'll show up. And I'll still do what I need to do. Kuna vitu moja, vitu tatu sicompromising. Number 1, looking good. Muambia mtu, call me to tie your shoe. I'll come dressed in a suit. And I'll make sure I do it in a very perfect way, because you have to know there are different ways to tie a shoe. Number 2, I was not raised a weak man. So even in the face of adversities, I stare at my issues head on. How I do it, I really can't tell you, but for some reason, I just need to sleep and wake up. Nikienda tu nikifunga tu macho, nizubai niamke, nimereset, nitadeal nayo. And number 3, if I'm not building, I'd rather be singing.
So you sing.
So it takes me away from that particular issue. I know I'm running a company. I know the difficulties to this particular situation. Difficulties, sometimes they give you adrenaline. They can throw you off, but sometimes they give you a bit of adrenaline, because there's always the excitement of knowing how you're going to come out of it. So I'm constantly thinking of ways to get out of this situation. Remember, my kids are growing. They have to keep growing. And it is my responsibility to make sure they do. If I default on my work, I don't expect anybody to carry my responsibility. Yeah. So I'm just grateful to God, because there's always a renewed sense of strength in mind. It can't be written down at any combe, this is the formula. But I'll tell you the things that have worked for me. I slept, I ate. In fact, watu nijua, muambiaga ile kitu moja. Ka kuna shida, the 2 things you need to do.
Kula.
Eat, sleep, and then wake up and face your issues. Pause, eat, and sleep. Number 1, this world will always put pressure on you to try and configure in a certain way. Everybody has a better way of how you should be doing your thing.
Yeah.
So kila mtu anataka kukuambia vile unafaa kuona handle issue yako.
They have as how we should be doing our, apart from theirs. Ile yao yenye wanafaa wajue ndo hawajui.
Correct. Hawajui.
Yako ndo wanajua.
Yangu ndo wanajua. In fact, kuna time fulani nilimake post. Nilikuwa naenda pahali Thika, kuna job nilikuwa nayo. Na sikuwa na fuel, like 0. I think nilikuwa nimeweka tu kama so 3 kwa gari. Na natoka Kiambu naenda huku karibu Limuru huku naenda Thika. Najiambia tu whatever man, diesel. Pali itaishia. Tutafuta shida paliko, tutajua, but I cannot not show up for my engagement. Niliambia wase, you know, in a football stadium, sema hata mimi ni mtu wa Manchester, Old Trafford. Tuko na stadium iko na
tuko wawili hapa.
Tulipigana. Nice. Wewe. I love it. Sasa,
mimi sijui ball.
Uko tu sawa, wewe uona. Ushajitambua ni mtu wa maneno, imetosha. Wewe ni family. Sasa, there are 75,000 occupants in a stadium.
Yeah.
But there are 22 players. 11 on each side. These 75,000 people will always have opinions as to how a coach should be planning a strategy, how the players are supposed to be playing. Na inakuwa a very emotive subject. Ni pressure.
Angefanya hivyo.
Na in fact, ufikiaga ma players wengine, because sometimes you'll question yourself, mazee, was I not good enough?
Yeah.
Nilipatiwa hiyo opportunity, nimeharibu, and you've given your best, but your best is not good enough. But you know what's the reality? The players are needed for revenue. How will the spectators, 75,000 people are needed for revenue. They are not really needed for strategy. So if a player really fumbles, if you catch your feelings,
it's your own problem.
Pole manze, I respect you as a paying customer. in fact, you deserve the best. I should be at my best. But guess what? The players are not robots. You can't perform properly every day. Haimaanishi kelele
Also,
itaisha.
who said your opinion is the properly?
That's the
like that's the
point.
proper performance.
That's the point. Your opinion is
It's just
good
an
wisdom.
opinion.
That's what I usually say. It is good wisdom. Take what you need, leave what you don't.
That's true.
The opinion can come with a certain sense of wisdom. If you can pick it, to be like, good. But not every opinion should be your very basic obligation. No.
That's true.
So much as there's noise around me, I'll stay true to what I have and what I need to go and what I need to do. Nikiamka asubuhi, najuanga ile kitu nafaa nidu. I want to look for a partner who will best walk with me through this journey so that we can distribute these problems and find a way to walk about. Partnership is critical. Hakuna safari. Safari ya mtu mmoja is a very quick run. Inakuwaga nika spike kwa graph. Inapanda inashuka. But safari fiti ni safari mnatembea na watu mkienda pamoja. Always find there's always one person who can add value to your process and your journey. If it's time to change, if it's time to shift, kubali.
Let me ask you a question. And I love venye, like, I just love your story. Let me ask you a question now. Looking back, say tuko December 10th, tunashuti. Looking back, is there one thing you're grateful for? Hata usiniambie mingi, I just want one.
Yes.
Ama two, if you have many.
Number one, I'm extremely grateful.
Tie it to your business, in your business.
In my business,
Yes.
Yes. I'm extremely grateful to process. If all you did is just sit down and give a result as a face of success, you're denying a lot of people from knowing what exactly happens.
Oh, like when you say to process, like the journey.
The journey.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
grateful for the journey and to the journey. Because hii journey yote vile imekuwa na hizi challenges zote nimepitia, they've only made me stronger. They've made me very aware. They've made me wiser. They even made me keep quiet a bit more and act more. If it is not for these pointers, what is the purpose of sitting down to tell you that there's always light at the end of the tunnel? What happens in the dark face of the tunnel?
Where is the dark face?
Where is the dark face? Hii tunnel yako imepiga makona, imepanda, imechimba chini.
Tunaona tu light.
Tunaona tu light, unatafutaga light, but hapa katikati uko kwa giza, unadu. Number two, I'm grateful to my brothers. My bros literally held me by the hand. And they helped me to do a lot that got me to where I am today. Ni jani ngumu, wame have to sacrifice vitu more. And not just my bros, but my bros and their spouses. Paul, number three. Sorry, you're allowed to.
It's okay.
I'll give you the ones that have really made significant moves. The people who still took bank on me, they banked on me to deliver for them, even when things were difficult. They have no idea. Hata kama inakaa ni kitu kidogo aje. Hao watu walinishika mkono nikiwa kwa giza. Hata kama zikuenda fiti, walinishika mkono. Right? And number four, the only person who remained in my office, though later on things didn't work and ikabidi ameenda, but that was my voice of balance.
So clearly, if you had a full scap and you were told to write your,
I have a lot of
you
Thanksgiving.
have a lot of Thanksgiving.
I have a lot of Thanksgiving. It is not all
always,
doom and gloom.
yeah, gloom. Yeah, I love that.
No, it's not all doom and gloom.
Like if you sit down and analyze, uta realize, wait, there are a lot of good things happen.
Yes. In let's put an example this way. Mining is not a clean job.
What?
Kwenda kumine. ukienda kumine saa maybe kama unaenda kumine gold, unaenda kumine diamonds, unaenda kutafuta precious metals, ukienda sai DRC ukiambiwa enda kwa mines, you'll hate it. It looks like a dumpster. Ukiambiwa ushike nyundo uchape grau hivi uwezani, utafikiria vitu kadhaa. But the result, the value of what comes down from down there has a very lasting impact. Tukipenda go through journey zetu, respect processes zetu in their difficulties, you always find something valuable that adds value to you as a person. You just need to keep mining. Keep mining. Studious, umechoka, kaa chini, panguza jasho, lala kidogo, kunywa maji, rudi, piga. Na upige mpaka itoe mazio. Na tunaendelea tu hivyo.
I love that.
Yeah.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
It does.
I'd love to hear. Hey, Kinyua, where? I swear I didn't know this is what you are going through. But I'd love to hear, despite all these things, like despite everything umesema, like zinakaa tough, zinakaa, you are a strong person. Wacha tunirudie tena, you are a very strong person.
Nashukuru Mungu.
Despite everything that you've gone through this year, ni nini hiyo inakufanya I still want to wake up tomorrow and do my craft. I still want to wake up tomorrow, do it and do it and do it. What is motivating you?
Number one, I learned what I'm doing from my dad. I watched him do his thing. I watched him go about the businesses. I watched him go through the cycles. And I loved what he did. I inherited it. And I'm using it today. Number two, if you've been around me, you know one thing. If there's one thing that gives me satisfaction, great satisfaction, is to know that in my small way, in my very small way, I impacted someone.
Thank you.
You too. Me, I'll tell you this. It's not even about the money.
Thank you.
Money is such a... Karatasi, pole, but karatasi ni kai tissue paper. Ni valuable ikiwa kwa box. But nikishaitoa nikijipanguzia, sai ni takataka. Ni waste. Pali imeenda, hijalishi, did it go on the right purposes or the wrong purposes? It doesn't matter. But if this handkerchief was able to wipe somebody's tears, you've reset his mind to be somebody better. Any opportunity I can get like this, as long as it impacts somebody, I'm here for it. It's so interesting. Na hizi shida zote, bado utanipata mimi ndo nakaa napatia wasevile strategy ya kufanywa kitu itakuwa. Na sasa mtu anasikia ati ndakwambia kuna certain client of mine who's also a very good friend of mine. Alinipigia simu time fulani. Akaniita nifanye vitu fulani. So watu wangu walikuwa nafanya vitu fulani kwa hao yake. Time fulani akanipigia, akaniambia, "Kinyua uko wapi?" Nikamshow, hata niko bank." Akajo kati, toka hata hapo hivyo na ngirika 100 ukuje unipatie. Nikamshow, actually by the way niko hapa juu najaribu kukill story ya Auctioneers. Akanyamaza, akaniambia, "What?" Nikamshow, najaribu control stories Auctioneers, so kuna vitu najaribu kuduni handle hizi vitu. Akaniambia, "Wa?" Nikamshow, "Don't worry about it. Hiyo itaisha. Hebu tuongee. Ngori yako ni nini pale ulikuwa unataka?" Aniambia, "Unataka bado nikwambie ngori?" Nikamshow, "Sikiza. Maisha isimami. Sawa? Kama watabeba kila watabeba. But najaribu kupiga wasiende. Nitakuwa kwako. And me, one thing I like to do, I like to keep time. Hata hiti kikuaje, nikikwambia nitakuwa hapo 11, nitajaribu nikuwa hapo 10:30.
Yeah, even today you really kept time.
You know? Na kama kutakuwa na delays or challenges, jua ziko sangi, it's explainable. Either prior or maybe after, depending on what the hit is. But I really try to keep that. Nikamshow, by the way, skiza, ndakuwa kwako 3 p.m. na tutahandle story. Anashindwa. Yani, huku unachotwa, na bado unaambia utakuja utashow up ufanye hizi vitu zote. So that's the other thing. I show up. I'll show up. Hata ikayaje. And I'll show up and I'll still be my bubbly self, laughing. Nimekaa fitu nasema tu, hii maisha inamwendeaga vizuri huyu. You see, these are things that you get to understand, that everything in life is interconnected. Everything. How you'll engage me professionally will also tie to how you engage me personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Na hata vitu zikiumana zikiharibikaje huko hivyo, the question is, if you need me to help you with something, did I show up? You see? Did I hear you out? Hata kama kuna noma. And that, you just build cohesion. Remember, these are the same channels that will take you out of certain spaces and into profitable spaces. But for me, showing up, impacting somebody's life, however small, I'll always die on those hills.
Thank you so much. And it ties it to what you said earlier. Like you face your problems head on.
Yes, you face your fears
So that
head on.
showing up is...
Yes, it's very necessary.
Umekuja tunakaa ngumu.
Tunang'ara na wewe.
Actually, I think shida ukam ndo ujiwoye.
Exactly.
Usipojiwoye, unai-overcome. But
Absolutely.
ukiwoye. As we wind up our episode, kuna mse ana go through hizo vitu. Na sisemi ati hearing what you've had, it's not like Kinyua has overcome. Like we are all, it's like their lessons. We are all learning from them.
Yeah.
Nika tunafunzwa. Because unless you go through that nini of an auctioneer, hiyo simu haikuangi fani. Hiyo simu nimeipata wapendwa. Hiyo simu tumbo itakuuma.
I know.
Hiyo simu si mchezo.
Correct.
Kwanza wakikwambia tuko hapa. Juu wamefuata asset yao mpaka wakafika kwenye iko. Na tracker. Tuko hapa, uko wapi? Hakuna kuhepa. But there's someone who is going through that right now. Na maybe hata hajaanza, hata especially hapo kwa KRA. I'd love you to touch on msee mwenye ana go through those moments. Maybe just kumpatia tu strength. Of course hatuwezi mwambia tutamlipia.
True. Of course.
Like hatuwezi.
Of course, yeah.
You'll just go through it. The same way you've said the sun will rise.
Yes, and set. Yes.
So I'd love you to just encourage that person who is going through all that.
One thing that I live by, nobody's ever prepared for adversity. Hakuna time utaijipata ulijipanga ati sufficiently for things to happen your way, or to deal with certain kind of problems. And from time to time, issues will find you more often than not from a pretty surprising point than a planned point, right? Never, ever, ever fear. Usiwaiogopa. Remember one thing, systems are ran by people. And people listen. Hata mtu akikuja na joto inakaaje. People listen. Right? Never ever be scared of losing anything. In fact, sometimes you need to lose some things that you valued to realize that you have capacity to create more. There has to be a balance of life. Allow me to share, very short. Kuna experiment moja tuloifanya shule. I'm a microbiologist by training. Tulipatiwa petri dishes. Hizo ni 2 dish fulani tulikuwaga hizi unaekanga mabakteria na nini. Moja ikaekwa nutrients. Zote. Zenye bakteria inawezaishi. Na moja ikachwa tu exposed. Alafu zika-incubatiwa. After incubation process, hii petri dish ilikuwa na kila kitu. Haiku expand. Colonies zilikuwa kidogo sana. Hii petri dish ilikuwa starved. Ilikuwa imegrow mpaka unashindwa hii. What is the science behind it? This only shows you one thing. Sometimes when you're in the heat of problems and you think you're going through the worst, is when you're most activated. And that's the time you think straight. The best times you've ever come out of problems were when you're deep in problems, not when you anticipated problems. So when you get these issues, never fear. Kama ni KRA wamekuja, go. Usigoja kukujie, enda. Take yourself there.
As you've said, they're human beings.
They're human beings, they listen. It is auctioneers, it is the bank. Go to the bank. Tell them by there, you know what? Hey, siko ubaya, kimeumana. And I'm trying this. Is it a friend or somebody who things just didn't work out? Go tell them. In our construction works, kuna kazi nimefanya na zikaharibika. Own your problems, own them up. But at the end of the day, fail forward.
Thank you.
Fail forward.
Thank you so much, Kinyua. Guys, I think this is where we wrap it up. I don't want to add anything else after this. But thank you so much, Mr. Kinyua.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for sharing your journey. Very raw, very... I know it's not easy.
No.
And I'm happy that men are getting to talk. Hi, guys. We've been talking about men, mental health. They need to speak up. I'm happy that you're speaking up.
I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the chance.
Like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And thank you so much once again.
I appreciate it.
Guys, Kinyua is a constructor. Ebu ambie unafanyanga kazi gani?
I am a building constructor. Hata nimechanganyikiwa.
Tutawapea namba hapo ya biashara.
Yes. I am a building contractor. Yes, and tunachapa kazi pande zote. Ukisema tukuje mpaka wapi, Kainuk. Utaenda Lamu wapi? Utaenda. We will provide all construction solutions.
Thank you so much, guys. Please, his number. If you have any business that you can offer, anything. Like you feel like, okay, naweza kupea hii kazi, mkubaliane, deliver, but thank you so much, Kinyua.
Thank you.
That one was a heavy one. That was a deep one.
May I?
Yeah.
I am also talking about these experiences, and I have an Instagram page.
Yeah. Actually, Ebu, tell them about what you're doing.
So this journey, of course, has had me have a lot to share. And I have stories for days. I'm a storyteller. So I have a page on Instagram, inaitwa Entrap House, and also on YouTube, inaitwa Entrap House. That's ENTREPHOUSE.
We'll put it here.
Thank you. Where I'm just talking, it's just started, so we're slowly building into it. But I just want to share my journey and impact. Probably just have that conversation with somebody. Who knows? It could be a vehicle where we can get stakeholders to sit down and just find a way that favors the industry.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Asante sana. And you're doing such a good job. Iyo kuongea tu, iyo kusema tu, as raw as it can get. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me over. This has truly been an honor.
Yep. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.